Hello, it's again all about projects and Radka. This time, I would like to invite you to yet another interview with successful postdoctoral fellows. I said fellows, and that was right, the plural was right, because today I'm going to interview two people. Both of them are researchers involved in plant biology and plant biotechnology, and both of them share also one more thing, and that one more thing is marriage. They are a couple, and they both of them were successful in their postdoctoral fellowship, and they both are going to the same university. So that's something exceptional, and I was really glad that Jay told me that it was not only him who was successful, but also his wife. And because we talked a lot and our interview was quite long, so with the agreement of Jay and Kusum, I decided to cut our interview into shorter parts. So today we are going to focus on how to start and how to collaborate with your host institution and with your hosting environment. So I hope that you are all doing well, that you are not struggling with your postdoctoral fellowship projects. And in case you have some questions and you would like me to address some kind of topic, feel free to post your questions and I will do my best to answer, or I will do my best to ask someone who knows better than I do. Okay, so anyway, without further ado, here is the first part of my interview with Kusum and Jay. If I understood it well, you went for 4-month fellowship with the Newton Fellowship Scheme, and there you
Yes,
met your supervisor and the team you would like to work or you wanted to
yes,
work with in
yes,
future. And then you identify the interesting scheme of postdoctoral fellowship from
yes,
Horizon Europe or probably Horizon
yes,
2020 time still.
yes, yes,
Yeah. And so you started to be very active already during your PhD.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yes. So this is really interesting. Did the fact that you already knew the place where you would like to go to help you a lot with writing your postdoctoral fellowship?
yes. Because at the time there is a one committee in the admin who is helping the administrative part of the project. So they help. Like I went into that person and I discussed in person. So that part is more important because when we are conversing in the in the mail, it's little bit like it's when it's in person it is more convenient for me, so it helped me a lot. And
Mhm.
also with my supervisor also, so they this because I was there, I knew the things, lab, everything, so it
Mm.
helped me a lot.
Yeah. So you already mentioned two people or two different kind of approaches to help. You mentioned your supervisor. I believe his support was in terms of defining the research project. And then there was that some person from project support department who knew
Yeah,
all
the,
the.
like the administrative part, like how many MSCA is successful, and the other infrastructure, and the other some part which is related to admins. So they help me and they give me some idea to how to write that part.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
the project and the proposal and the objectives part of obvious supervisor, both of my supervisor helped me a lot.
Mhm, mhm. So, did you feel comfortable about writing the part related of your related to your future career? Because there is a part related to research, and then they ask you a lot in this postdoctoral fellowship project about your future career, who you want to be, what you want to do, and what you need to learn in order to become that. How did you struggle or didn't struggle with this part of the project?
I struggle a lot. Like the first time when I applied, I didn't know the terminology, even the dissemination milestone, the
Mm-hmm.
Gantt chart.
Mm-hmm.
So the first time when I applied, it was like I was always searching some in the Google, the what's the
Mm-hmm.
meaning of that one, and some videos and some PDF who explain the little bit of what can be put in that particular section. So I struggle, but from one to fourth year, I learn a lot. It's just not the one time I learned, like the first time it's very difficult. Then when I apply first time, I didn't get it, and then I uh, got the comments from, there is a report in which we got the comments. So I learned, I read that comments many time, and then every time the improvement, and then in the third time I got the seal of excellence, and the fourth
Mhm.
time I got the funding.
That's great.
So,
So it sounds like a journey towards understanding what is behind those abstract, weird words, which we at the beginning don't understand. We don't
yes,
see the sense of them in the text, and yet they have to be filled in with specifics. And for
yes,
that, you need to find a kind of key to decode what they mean and what kind of role does it play in the context of your research project. Am I right in thinking this? Do you feel it the same way? Like it's decoding the weird language around
yes,
it to
yes.
create.
Every time that, yeah, it's every time, like the first time when we did some mistake, and then second time we applied that one, and then it's related to the proposal, and then like it's part B1 and B2, both parties, like how we can improve in context to research proposal. And then we did it with with the help of my husband, and also
Mhm.
my seniors who helped me a lot for this
Uh-huh.
one.
Wow. So can you imagine to be able to do this all alone without any support of these people you mentioned? Would you see yourself doing it entirely alone? Would it be possible?
uh, I I don't know, because without I can see the from my supervisors,
Mhm,
the military supervisors, and from the team of the administration,
mhm.
the part of the Aberystwyth University, my husband, my senior, if they will
Yeah.
not be around, and they if they not like commenting, like okay, this should be improved, we
Mhm.
can write this section by this one. If they don't give me this comment, so without them it can't be possible.
Wow, it's obviously you had a lot of wonderful work support around you. You got your project, and you were a very wise lady, I would say, because even though you applied for that successful project in the call, you said 2022 call, wasn't it? Yeah, it was
Yes,
2022 call. But
yes.
you postponed the start of the project, and the reason was why?
Reason is like I have commitment with my current supervisor.
Mhm,
So I told him that I will be here for 2 years, and I will complete the project,
mhm,
and then I will leave from your lab. So that is the one and only reason for the postponing the
mhm.
that
So the
medical.
wonderful message from this is A, you can finish all your commitments. European Commission is flexible to allow you to start later, so it's up to
Yes,
you.
because the 2022 fellowship, the result will come in February, and
Mhm,
after result, it gives time to join the next lab. So
mhm,
that's a good thing in this fellowship. That's why I applied, because I knew that I had the already commitment, so I
mhm,
didn't apply anything except this medical.
mhm, mhm. That's a
Because
wonderful thing. Yeah.
other fellowship, they are not giving much time. Maybe
Mhm,
they're giving 6 months, 7 months, I don't know. But this one is the, I think, largest.
mhm, mhm. So that's perfect. And that there is a second thing which I wanted to mention, that's the fact that you finish your commitments. That's also a really valuable thing to do when it comes to research because yeah, well research world is quite small. Number one, it's a question of our values to fulfill what we promised. And the second
Yes.
thing, we show some kind of message if we don't finish our kind of commitments
Yes.
that we have.
Because
Yeah.
in that case, if I leave before, in between, so it will harm my career also, and the same
Mhm,
time supervisor also, because they give time to us to learn different things. And
mhm,
if we leave from their lab in 1 year, or then it will also not good for them also. So it's
mhm,
vice
mhm.
versa. So we should keep in mind that one.
Yeah, yeah.
Until unless you have some problem, that's the other part. But
Mhm.
if you like the lab, you love that work which you are doing, then you should
Mhm.
not do that one.
Yeah. And as I see from your LinkedIn profile, you obviously love your lab. There are really lots of like nice messages sharing from the lab and work there. So I really enjoy your LinkedIn profiles as well, because I can see that you really have, both of you have joy from work, which leads me towards our second guest, your husband. So now we have a story of your project proposal. And we go to Jay. So, Jay, when did you get the idea to apply? And who helped you the most with this application process? Hmm.
First of all, I would like to thank you to invite us for this nice interview. And now, of course, we are living together. So when Kusum was applying for this medical fellowship, I was the part of uh, like this process. I was involved in her fellowship from like second attempt, second attempt to almost up to the funded attempt, and so I was I knew the basic things and what is the like process and how you can approach the supervisor and now how you can also write the project also. So and actually I want to I apply for this fellowship from the beginning, like when I was doing PhD, but I was not like eligible for that because when Kusum applied for the first time, there was no rule that you have a compulsory you have a PhD. But after her first attempt, there was a rule that you should have a PhD degree at the time of at the time of applying, or I think, or at the time of you can when you are starting your project. So I was just doing PhD, so I was not able to do that time. But last year, not last year, but in 2022, I got my PhD degree. So I applied for this call in 2023.
So to me, the most important message was that you said that you can't do it without understanding the host institution, without thinking a lot, and then writing and rewriting. And that's something I want to share with people, because they really think like it's only 10 pages, it's enough to write it in 2 weeks.
It's not.
Yeah, it's not like that.
It's not. It's just not 10 pages. It's lot.
Yeah,
It's
but
just
this
a
is
number, but it's not.
Yeah, this is what I experienced when I was working as a consultant, that many people left everything to the last 2 weeks. And, I knew it was lost battle, but, I'm not going to discourage anyone if they want to do it, but it's too late. I always felt it was too late. And so you said it exactly. You said it aloud. 4 years. It took 4 years to get enough experience to be excellent. And Jay was lucky that he was observing. So the fact that observing and absorbing what I'm observing, that's
But
important as
they
well.
also he was editing my proposal also.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
but
okay. We both
yeah,
are
but
doing PhD, so this is our field, and
yes.
it was a wonderful
Like
experience.
I also want to say like some people, if they are not getting the Marie Curie, they just say that okay, we will change the host. But if you don't find anything wrong with the host supervisor, so it's better to some resubmit with the same supervisor, because it will improve a lot rather than you start from the zero.
Yeah.
Because at that time you have to change the host institutes, host supervisors, so many parts are from that part also. So if we are changing, we have to change everything except proposal, maybe proposal also, because at the time the next supervisor will not don't want to do that part. So this is the, if you don't have any problem, we should not change the supervisor, we should trust, because sometimes people thought that their CV is not good, that's why we didn't get it, but it's not the reason. This is the thing. So I just go through sometime with the Top Academia. It is the conversation with the Marie Curie Fellow. So they are just writing and discuss that we should change the host, supervised host, and because they don't have the good CV or something like this. So CV, I think, is the second part. The first part is, I think, proposal and how you write the proposal. This, I think, most important thing.
Yeah, yeah. And when you mentioned the CV, or do you see an important part of your CV that plays in the overall project proposal? So when you're writing the proposal, how did you work with the CV? Was it like a, additional paper, or was it again a part of your story?
Yeah, so in the CV, like it's the normal, we put the educational qualification, research paper, and the and the that research experience. So what I did, and also Jay's, I think same. So what we did in the B1 part, whatever we have the objectives and the research methodology. So I connected with my CV. So suppose I have the research paper, I did some experiment in that one, and that will help me in that particular methodology. So I got in the B2 part that this particular thing will help me the for the work package 1, 2, or 3. Similarly, for the supervisor, because for the supervisor there is also some, we have to write some project and their expertise. So I wrote in that part, like, okay, this expertise will help me in this work package. So I connected both part together so that it will help me. Although I also say the CVs, I don't have much research paper, but if we do the connection between B1 and B2, that will be helpful.
So if you, I'm continuing the Kusum what she was talking, that it was the continuation of like the main project. CV was also a continuation of the main project. Another thing which I want to emphasize is people think that if you don't have a research paper, you will not get merit fellowship. But that is not the case. I have only one research paper at the time when I was applying for the merit fellowship, and that is in a good journal. But that was only one research paper, and all of my research paper from my PhD work is still under the communication. So it's not the case that if you don't have a research paper from your PhD, you will not get the funding. So it's a myth. What matters is the project and how you are convincing the other people that you will be able to do this science, and what is the importance of that project. Yeah.
CV is important, but it's secondary. First, we have to focus the part B1, which is related to our project, how we can disseminate, what will be the impact. We should write good way so that it will give the good like understand how, like, what actually the proposal will, if we do, what will be the benefit for the social, economical, whatever. Like, so it's the secondary, it's important, but it's not just that CVs should be good so that we can get the merit, but it's not like that. Proposal should be very good, and then CV also should be good, but it's not like that. But it should always be secondary. We have to focus first B1, and then we have to connect B1 part with the B2.
When I listen to you, it feels like you believed every sentence you wrote. There was something behind it. There was a content. You didn't write empty sentences. When you were talking about economic impact, you already saw it happening. You saw the options. You saw the opportunities. You really like what Jay said. You were thinking a lot about this all before you started to type. So that's my image.
But
The
this
most writing
one is
happens.
helped by behind the scene. Many people are there who helped me a lot, who guided me. One of my seniors who guided me a lot, like in 1 hour call, because she's in different place. So 1 hour call, like how to write this thing, how to correct this one. So for me, it's very important, and for also my host supervisor, we did the meeting many times to like correct the things, give the like they give me ideas to how we can do. And also our university, the last time there is the academic editing.
For me, there was a reviewing process, and they give me my proposal to some reviewer, and
Yes.
they check what are the weaknesses in my proposal, and then they give me a feedback regarding this one. So our host institution also helped me
Yeah.
to
And
improve my proposal.
and that happened when, Jay? So it was, I believe, during holidays, some holidays before the deadline. How?
Yeah, before the deadline. Before the
It's
deadline, it
I
was
mean, I think for you it's 2 months after, like in July he
Mhm.
gave to
uh,
the to
Yeah.
institute
not July, I
Mhm.
think, in the
first
August.
week, end of July.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but yeah, it's after 2 months we have to just give the draft of the
Mhm.
proposal, and
Mhm.
then they like reviewing that one, and they then there is also meeting with that editor who edit the like
Mhm.
reviewers, and
Mhm.
if they commenting, they are suggesting how to we can improve,
Mhm.
and how it's in flow. Like it
Mhm.
should not like just one paragraph and it's going some other paragraph is going some other place. So it's
Mhm.
they also like she also suggests the how it can be in flow. So she gave many comments to improve it.
So it was a bit like mock evaluation. They already used the evaluation report and they were already checking what you wrote from the perspective of evaluators, I believe. So they already had the evaluation guidelines and checking your project proposal at that time. Am I right or not?
No, it was not like evaluation by scientific person, but I
No.
think that was a third party consultation or something like that.
Mhm.
So they didn't focus on the excellence part, but what is like how it is better with the flow and how impact and implementation is like written and
Mhm.
everything is correct or there is some mistake or you can how you can improve your work package or maybe the implementation that was they were focused.
Mhm. But
And that was
overall,
only
yeah.
I'm sorry. So that was only with the selected proposal. Initially, they took proposal from the maybe one of the person that are applying with the Aberystwyth University, and they have shortlisted maybe 6 or 7 proposal, and then they give this to the for the review. Yeah.
That's
So
great.
yeah.
So that sounds like
So
a
I
lot
was
of brains behind projects. So lots of ideas, lots of inputs, lots of feedbacks. And by the way, when
yeah.
you were working on your projects, did you also check the evaluation guidelines, the questions evaluators are going to be asked when it comes to the reviewing your project? So did you work with the evaluation guidelines when you worked on
Yeah,
your project?
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely, every single line I have read many times, and not only that one, the MSCA NATE handbook
Yes.
that
Mhm.
is a very important. I have read that many times, and I have read strength and weaknesses what given in that handbook.
Mhm.
I was making sure that every strength which was given in the handbook should be in my proposal, and every
Mhm.
weakness which is in the handbook should not be in my proposal. So I make sure that every strength should be in my proposal, and every weakness should not be in my proposal. So that helped me a lot. Apart from the guidelines, the MSc NATE handbook was
Mhm.
very helpful for that.
That's wonderful. So obviously, again, something that we should mention, and that is that there are lots of documents related to the call, and some people tend to be intimidated by the amount of them. But what you say, there is valuable information inside. So we should be careful what we read and what we don't read. Am I right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think I'm not sure, but for the Horizon Europe projects, you have to read your guidelines very carefully. And then
Hmm.
only you will be able to succeed in your projects.
Yeah. So would you agree with the statement, every word matters in these texts?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because this is something what we discussed with my colleague and wonderful mentor of mine, Lotte Jaspers, that people sometimes tend to avoid words they don't understand or don't think are important. But in our experience, whatever is written in the call, it has meaning. There is a reason why these words are there. We need to consider them and we need to place them into our specific project situation. We need to give them meaning that is relevant to us and our situation. So,
Yeah, true. It's true. Definitely. You have to read it not only once, maybe you have to read 2, 3 times, many times. And then you will be maybe for the first time you will read, you will not have the idea what they want to say.
Yeah.
But when you will read again and again, then you will understand, yeah, what they want to say and what you have to include in your project to satisfy that criteria and according to the guidelines.
yeah, it sounds a bit like a quest, going on a quest. At the beginning, you absolutely don't know what you signed for. You just think you will
Yeah.
get money for your research, and then you really have to discover and fight. And even when you don't have power and energy, you still have to find more power and energy to think and create and be optimistic and believe. That, I think, is the most important. Okay, anyway, so thank you for your time. So now, really, we can say goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
I
Bye.
thank you. That was very kind of you. So bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.